can just chat on this camera until it's
Mhm.
right. And you can switch it.
Oh, and here we go. I think. Oh, ready to go live in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hi, everybody out there in Facebook land. It's Mike and
Wendy.
Ben.
Yep,
And
then
Scott.
Scott. We're hanging out here today, and right now we are celebrating the release of a brand new video for our song "Spend the Night." So we hope you're all doing lovely on this fine. Oh, first of all, Happy New Year. This is probably the first time we've talked to you since the New Year has began. So, yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay, and what do you guys want to talk about real quick before we get into actually watching the video? I know it's all kind of. We're gonna fix the camera in a second, but.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Oh
That's
yeah.
so fun.
There we go. We'll put this down. And we'll start with this, and then we'll go to the bigger camera when we figure that out. Anyway, so I was going to say that our resolutions for 2020 are to do things like have a lot more new videos and a lot more new songs than we've had. And so we're all excited about it. We should probably talk about Spend the Night, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
And so we actually recorded this song, what, 1,000 years ago?
Yeah.
Feels like
Well,
it.
we wrote the song. Oh, we recorded it at Cherry Pit
Yeah,
about
a year?
approximately 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
No, it was December of 2018.
Mhm.
And we've kept it secretly tucked away
Yeah.
until now.
I do want to say though that there's a version on YouTube already. It was just a duo version
Oh, yeah.
that's
from Saloon on Calhoun. But the real big takeaway is that people that are awesome enough to come out to see the live show get rewarded by seeing music you can only see live.
There you
right.
go.
So, yeah. I was going to say, so Spend the Night was originally written in January of 2018, and we wrote it after a conversation with one of the guys from a TV show called Haunted Towns. His name was Scott Porter, and he was we interviewed him and his girlfriend, Stephanie Berg, who's a psychic, and they were about to go spend the weekend in the Lizzie Borden house. And they were going to try to conjure up the ghosts of whoever Lizzie Borden gave 40 whacks to.
Oh.
And it just was funny because they're like all excited. They're like, yeah, we'll go to the Lizzie Borden house. It's awesome. And it's just everybody's all excited to go to places where horrible things have happened.
I know. It does seem weird because there's got to be a certain amount of time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like if somebody got murdered down the street, people wouldn't be lining up the next day like, I want to see overnight in a haunted place. But these things that have happened like decades ago, you know, there's a lot. We've encountered so many places in our travels that are like that, where people, you know, the haunted tourism thing.
Well, in Iowa, there's a place called the Velasca Axe Murder House. Like,
we have to have an intervention. Velasca.
Velasca.
Sorry.
Right?
Just in case anybody's watching from
I care
Iowa.
not, I can't. But either way you go, the thing is, so Velasca Axe Murder House, it's a particular, like, that's a particularly gruesome story too, isn't
Oh
it?
man,
Yeah, horrifying.
It's nasty.
So when you read up on it, so what happened in the Velasca Axe Murder House?
Yeah, well, it basically a family was murdered in their sleep, and their kids had friends over for a slumber party that night too. So
The worst sleepover in history.
yeah,
Obviously, it's going to be in Iowa.
right, and it was like a really bloody, you know, kind of gory murder that occurred. So all these people were found dead, and as far as I know, they never found the culprit. So like,
never anybody found. And the belief is that the killer, whoever it was, snuck into the house when everybody was at church and just like stayed hidden in the attic all day long until they went to bed, and then did that.
And just went crazy and then got away scot-free. So, but it's...
Hey!
But the thing that's crazy about it is that, you know, I was researching into it and I kept stumbling across pictures of people. Now, I know a lot of our friends actually do the Iowa, the RAGBRAI bike event where you bike all the. It's like I don't know if it's all the way across Iowa, but it's a huge
It's a
biking.
lot of Iowa.
And
Yeah.
there's not a hill the
Exactly.
entire
It's the
time.
easiest run.
It's a lot of corn.
It makes Illinois look like Colorado.
It's supposed to be a lot of fun, but if you Google that place, it comes up. You'll find all these pictures of people on the Ragbri because it must go past there, and you'll find pictures of people like posing in the yard like they're dead, like they've been murdered, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's cool. Like people died there, you know? I mean,
Right.
anyway.
So the thing is, and I've done it. I mean, I've gone and spent time in places where horrible things have happened, and hopefully having some kind of experience. And I think that's what this song is about.
I was gonna say we talk about in the song battlefields. You talk about, and I mean, how many people go and do the reenactments? There's more respect than what you're speaking about in Villisca, but
Oh gosh.
it's kind of similar where people are
Yeah.
pretending to be dead at a
Right.
battle site where
Or pretending
thousands
to,
of people who died.
yeah, like pretending to be the victims.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's weird, but it seems like there's something baked in us that is naturally drawn towards these types of things. And so, for the video today, we were actually talking about some of these stories in where were we? We were in Menominee, Wisconsin, at the Haunted Mabel Tainter Theater in Menominee, Wisconsin. And while we were performing, the director and the editor of the TV show Hellier was in the audience, and he heard this particular track, and he's like, "I think it'd be perfect in the show."
And he was right.
He's right. You know,
He's a smart guy.
after
He's a
watching the
very-
program, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, he's got excellent taste in music.
Right. He's got an ear. He's got an ear for the hits. And so, you know, when it came out, they put it in the show, and it was fantastic. And so we wanted to make a video for it, taking some of our favorite shots and our visuals from Hellier. And then, okay, so we probably should
Oh yeah,
explain
we
what
got
the
to
show's
talk
about.
about Hellier for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what's the show about? So Hellier is a place in Kentucky. Hellier, Kentucky is a city. So it's not just, I mean, that's a wicked name because you're like, Hellier.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
like, where am I from?
Hellier,
I'm from
hell yeah.
Hell. Hell yeah, I'm from Hellier. You know, that's, I mean, that town is metal as F. But, so it's about a bunch of paranormal investigators that are following up on these strange being sightings like goblins starting in Kentucky in the 1960s, and these cryptic emails that are following up about it. I mean, it's hard to describe. It's like not a nutshell kind of program.
No. Because the story evolves as they learn more, and the one thing I love about paranormal investigation and all this is that it's all about theory, and the more you dive into something, the more unique ideas pop up, and then you start chasing different tales. You know.
Yeah.
So the first version of the video we're going to show tonight has footage from Hellier 2, which you guys can watch free on YouTube or Amazon Prime, and it's a lot of fun. We highly recommend it. They also have other Sunspot songs in there, so obviously we're going to recommend it. But either way, you're going to have a lot of fun, and it's a production that's done with heart instead of done with the, let's just say Zach Baggins was not the producer on
Yeah.
Hellier.
Right. And actually, if you're interested in learning more about Hellier, you know, if you haven't watched it yet and you want to hear a little bit about it, Mike and I did an interview for our podcast, See You on the Other Side, with Greg Newkirk, who's one of the producers, one of the cast members, if you will, and a friend of ours. And so, do you remember what the episode number was? For that one?
179 or two. I'm sorry,
There we
27. No, that I got the numbers
You're
completely
thinking
up.
today?
I don't know.
It's in the 270s.
It might be 275 or 274. If 275 is wrong, then I want you to go back and type in othersidepodcast.com/274, and you can hear an interview. We talk all about the new season, and we even wrote a new original song based on the first couple episodes that we've seen of the new season. So that's a lot of fun too. So we made everybody wait for a while. 13 minutes.
Oh my gosh, you're
And
still
so
here. Thank
13
you.
is your lucky number
Yeah,
today,
there we go.
because I'm going to come up here and start the video, and then we're also going to fix the other camera here. And so we're going to come up to a little bit of Spend the Night.
wanna spend some time in her head. Well, I'm here to talk to the dead, and I'll spend the night. I'll spend the night in a murder scene, hoping some rubs off on me. Well, I don't get queasy, and I'll spend the night. Is it the fear I want to face? Is it the memory of the chase? Is it the blood I want to taste? I just don't know. Is it a lust for the profane, or a dream of the insane? Well, we just can't explain, and we'll spend the night. I'll spend the night on the battlefield, where the wounds never healed. We'll see what the worms reveal when I spend the night. I'll spend the night with the gallows pole in my hand, Charon's oboe. I'll sleep in a 6-foot hole, and I'll spend the night. Is it the fear I want to face? Is it the memory of the chase? Is it the blood I want to taste? I just don't know. Whoa, whoa. Is it a lust for the profane, or a dream of the insane? Well, we just can't explain, and we'll spend the night. Oh, we just can't explain, and we'll spend the night. No, we just can't explain, so we'll spend the night.
Hey. All right, then. We are back.
We're oddly blown out.
And so, yeah. And so, all right, so we worked really hard on that. And it was on a December night at a place called Emily's Ten Oaks Ranch, which actually was a really nice place.
It was
I
great.
thought.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And our friend Lisa from Madison Ghost Walks has parties there. And so they were so nice to let us
Yeah.
shoot there.
Thank you, and thank you, Lisa.
And so it was really great. So we are going to celebrate with some champagne right now.
Oh, we're looking up at that one now.
Yeah, yeah, I was looking at the wrong place.
It looks like
why
it's
am I
like I'm
looking
watching
at the
TV
wrong-
or
Sorry.
something.
the wrong camera.
So
Okay.
thank you everyone who joined this event and like was watching. We were watching the live viewers. It was exciting.
Yeah.
It is exciting. And
thank you for the nice comments to those of you who have been.
if you left,
Hosting.
and thank you for the mean comments.
Yes,
To
thanks
those-
for the mean comments
Now,
too.
here's
All
a
news is
funny.
good
Now
news,
here's
yeah.
a funny thing.
Keep it real.
Now we've had these champagne glasses in our practice space for at least a year, right?
A
Jamie and
year?
Liz?
We've had them since the slingshot
There's a
effect
date
release
on
party.
here too.
Jamie and Liz?
Okay, we've had these
Or-
since 2014.
No, since the what release party was that?
2014.
Dangerous Times?
That would have been Dangerous Times was July of 2014, or it could have been.
This was just the one right before that?
That would have been Archaeopteryx was. Anyway,
Well, I think
Dangerous Times had a glass.
the
right?
shot glass. I think.
Yeah, we had
Right,
shot
yeah,
glasses.
yeah.
So
And so the thing is, the company sent us the wrong one. So Jamie and Luz.
we got like several boxes of champagne glasses intended for their wedding.
Champagne glasses extended for their wedding. And
Oh.
they got our shot glasses.
It was June. Yeah, it would have
Yeah.
been.
So June 2014, Jamie and Luz, this one's to you.
Yeah, because I remember getting it and I pulled it out and I was like, "Ooh,
What?
they're gonna need these like this weekend."
Yeah.
So I
Right,
called
so-
the place.
Hey!
Good,
All
you
right.
missed Scott's
I
lights
was
on
getting-
that one,
yeah.
right?
I was thinking my lights.
Yeah.
Speaking of lights, thank you, Scott, for all the
Yeah,
hard work that you
Scott
put
too,
into the
yeah.
The production of it,
cinematography
yeah.
and
Oh, it's-
lighting and
I've been very lucky that I've been able to work on music videos to songs I really believe in my life, and this is definitely a great example of that.
Oh,
yeah!
Oh,
And
yeah.
to thank you, here's
Yeah.
some champagne all over you.
And so this is my personal favorite champagne.
Oh, what is it?
It is Home Serra Cristalino. It's cava. It's a brut, and I'm just kidding. It's not my favorite, but it was the cheapest at Vic Pierce.
Vic
Hey,
Pierce.
all right.
There we go. But
Open till midnight.
Oh,
If you're wondering what we're
Come back.
talking about, in Madison,
oh,
The,
Look
sorry.
at the camera.
oh, sorry, wrong camera.
They're over
In
there.
Madison, the nanny state won't let us purchase alcohol after 9 o'clock, except at Vic Pierce.
So Vic Pierce is the place you go at 9:02 p.m.
All right.
And it's conveniently located near our rehearsal space. So
Right. So now I am the mayor on Foursquare. And on three we say 1, 2, 3, oofta.
Oofta.
Hey.
cheers and
All right.
cheers.
Cheers
So-
to you out there in TV land.
Not bad.
Okay.
Refreshing.
So
I
let's see
dare say.
who's in there right now, and we'll say hi. Oh, Shiloh joined. Shiloh,
Shiloh,
nice
all
to
right.
see you.
Cheerio.
Hope you're having fun.
friend from the Michigan Paracon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Robin from Galena.
Galena, all right, Robin.
Robin, cheers to you. She's drinking champagne too.
All right.
Wait,
Alright.
that's
Yeah,
just
girl.
a Tuesday night. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday in Galena.
It's 6:20 in Galena.
That's how they do. That's
That
Haunted
is
Galena.
how they do.
See us at the Haunted Galena Conference.
Iris.
That's right. Yeah.
In May.
Iris, hey,
Nice.
hope you're having a good time. Terry says cheers.
All right. cheers.
Terry and George, hope you guys are having a fantastic
Cheers to you.
Tuesday evening. Mark Ortiz from Detroit.
Oh, Detroit,
Hey,
yeah.
Mark.
Detroit. Bart from Toma.
all right.
And Bart's comment is cheap is good. Well, the thing is, Bart, the cheapest at Vic Pierce was still $10. So it's better than the time that for New Year's Eve we had a party at our house on West Johnson Street here in Madison, and we bought 30 or 48 bottles of champagne, and I believe it was $60.
Right, and 30 of them ended up on the ceiling.
Yeah,
And we
everybody at the
lost our
party.
security deposit.
Yeah, we lost our security deposit that night, and there were champagne stalactites for the rest of the year. Donald Bigley. Oh, Don.
Hey,
Don,
from
hello.
Michigan.
Another Michigan.
Oh, Terry says they're watching from the Walmart checkout.
Aw.
All right.
We're
Well,
very big at the Walmart checkout.
we're huge.
We're huge at
Thank you.
Walmart.
Okay. Oh, Melody from up north in Anago
Hi,
says
Melody.
love to do a ghost walk sometime. We'll come on down to Madison.
right.
I know that Lisa would love to give you a ghost walk.
There you go.
Or if you come during State Fair too again this year.
And on that note, sorry to interrupt. Shout out to Lisa for helping us get our
Yeah.
location.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa
Yeah.
Van
the
Busker.
ghost
Lisa-
is hostess.
Yeah.
hostess.
The thing is,
hope you don't mind we drank the beer while we were shooting.
we
today.
did. Lisa had beer left over from her party, so we did have a few of them sweet Bud
We
Lights.
needed props. You'll see the bottles are
Right,
in,
yeah.
so it's production.
Laptop on your lap
And it was 12
I can take the
degrees,
laptop on my lap
So the
now.
beer I was drinking was there was one that wouldn't flow.
Did it just?
It was
Nope.
actually frozen. So.
Oh, yes, it
Yeah,
did just
that's
start.
right.
Okay, yes, it did just
Oh,
start. So the time I moved it,
What happened?
I don't know what happened. Yep, but
Shoot,
here we
maybe
are
it was
again.
the USB.
Yes.
We're still
Okay.
on.
We're
here.
figuring out
No, we're still
technology.
online here.
It's continuous.
We're just a little slow
Yeah.
when it comes to
Oh, I
tech.
wore my feather from the video
Oh,
Nice.
look at that.
as an homage.
All right.
So that camera should be back.
Okay, let me see if that camera is back. It is not, so let's try to
Ah,
give it a replug in.
oop, something just clicked.
All right, we're still working
It's
here. We're still
magic.
working out the magic here. But we'll figure that out eventually. Let's see who else we can say hi to.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about the video,
Sherry Brock,
about the podcast,
this was great. Nice job. I like your feedback.
Thank you.
Like your feedback.
Kim Lembecker says, where'd it go? It just went away. Bravo, so good. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim. Oh, looks like
Cheers.
we're getting
Oh.
looks like we're getting back
Oh,
online there. Okay, zooming out. All right, fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Then oh, and there
Look,
we are.
look at we're all
All
huddled
right.
around the laptop.
Well, and that's I mean,
Aw.
right. It's like we're watching Two Girls, One Cup again. Like for my 30th time.
Is that
Oh,
your reaction?
Spud Davenport? Spud from San
Spud.
Diego. Hope you're doing well. Dana Stricker? Dana,
All right.
speaking
Hi,
of
Dana.
psychics,
There we go.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's right.
Dana's right. She knew when to come in.
She knew.
And a boy named Tracy?
That's Tracy.
Oh, Tracy. All right.
Ohio.
Regrettably
Cheers.
regrettably sober this Tuesday night.
Aw,
Well,
we'll have some extra for you,
Wait,
Tracy.
trust me, I'll drink your fill.
We miss you.
Oh, John from New Jersey. John, as always. Hey, and
Oh.
John gets a toast because he is also a Patreon member.
Cheers.
So,
John-
Absolutely.
John
Yes.
Drajna, thank
To
you so much
John.
for the support,
Right.
brother.
To John, who his we were talking about our local liquor store. His is haunted, so he.
That's right.
Yes.
We always check in on what's the latest haps in
And
the
he-
haunted liquor store.
The haunted liquor store, and then he lives like right across from a graveyard too. So
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
a great. I love chatting with him. He's got and an incredible photographer.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Wayne Stotts, Wayne and
Oh,
Marsha,
more Patreon
members.
members.
Cheers to
Hey!
you.
There we go.
Cheers to you, Wayne and Marsha.
Cheers. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you very
tuning
much.
in.
Champagne.
Anita says, "Well
oh.
done. Love the location.
Hey,
Thanks,
Anita.
Anita.
Thank you, Anita.
She's been there before.
Yeah, she
Yes,
has.
I
She's
believe
done the Thriller dance there.
she's done
before.
the Thriller.
She's performed there.
Yes.
You know, oh, I wish I had my backup drive because I could show people
Oh my
tonight.
God.
We will show people
That's right.
soon of you guys watching the Thriller on one of these live
Not,
goes.
not watching the Thriller.
Yeah.
No,
Performing.
you'll be performing the Thriller.
Thrilling, as it were.
It'll be thrilling the
Yes.
audience. Oh, Jeff Troya is there.
Hey,
Hi,
what's
Jeff.
up, Jeff?
More is better. That
Cheers.
sounds like Jeff
All
Troya.
right. Attaboy.
Oh,
We got a good job, Scott.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
It was my
Marsha.
pleasure.
all right.
Oh,
So
this is fun.
we had.
Oh, Dana.
Oh, Dana.
We have a question. Our first question.
Yeah, there we
Hey,
go.
all right.
Our first. Oh, feel free to ask personal questions, and we will make up answers to them.
Yes.
We'll answer them for each other.
So Dana wants to know, when is the next Madison show?
Crickets chirping.
Right.
Well, we're gonna next Tuesday. We'll be here live performing again online.
Yeah.
And our next performance, probably, I don't know. We're gonna have to get back to you on that.
Yes. So we haven't booked a Madison show yet because we're looking for the right place to play. If there's a particular place you think we should play, so Moose has gone from the Club Tavern. So I haven't called the new Club Tavern guy to see who's working there.
It would be worth checking out because
Yeah.
I see that John Messino, his idea for moving the stage
Ah,
has been
yes.
implemented, so that looks
That's
pretty
right,
cool.
John. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thanks, John. John's awesome.
Also, I just talked to the booker from the High Noon, so that seems like it's gonna be the rock place now.
Yeah.
I'd like to try the Crucible, but
Oh,
would
yeah.
you guys go out to Commercial Avenue? Like that? I'm just saying that because I remember I thought the Inferno was the coolest bar around, right? But people would be
It
like,
was.
"Oh, it's all the way out." Well, we are right like across the street from where the Inferno
Yeah.
used to be right now. And in fact, our first practice here was my birthday in 2015, right by the Inferno. And then we went to the Inferno, and I broke not one, not two, but I broke 3 glasses that night.
He was spilling
Sorry,
beer every.
Apollo.
And
But-
Apollo didn't kick me. He was like, oh man, that's cool. And then the next time I saw him, he laughed about it. And I was like,
Birthday.
I'm like,
It was your
"Oh,
birthday. You had the birthday card.
oh." But I played that birthday card and I trumped
Oh.
it.
We got some more suggestions. Oh, wait, hold on.
Iris
What
says-
about Racine?
Oh,
Yep,
Rachel,
Yep.
we ju-
February.
Hi, Rachel.
February, we're just gonna pick a date. We just talked with JJ yesterday. So,
So
we're,
very soon.
Very
We'll
soon
be
we'll come
back
back
in
to Racine.
Racine next month.
Iris says the Boss Meadery.
Yeah, Boss is
Of course, yeah.
that
Yeah.
place is great.
like I haven't been to the mead hall, but I remember it being
it's
like
really nice.
okay.
It
Is it
is.
and it's able to handle loud music?
Yeah.
That's
In
what I
fact,
was worried about.
We were just there for Iris's birthday. Happy
Yeah.
birthday,
Happy
Iris.
birthday,
Oh.
Iris.
And
She-
Scott
On
did
the
some
solstice.
Scott did some ghost storytelling. Solstice
Yeah.
ghost
Oh, she's a
storytelling.
solstice baby.
Yeah.
That's right. But did your mother say when you were born it was the longest night of the year? And John Keelis, how did you guys get Jack Black for your video? I don't know.
How did we, Mike?
Yep.
Oh, look
Okay.
at the camera.
Sounds like we're back
Look,
there.
We're at extreme
For,
post cam.
yeah,
again.
for some reason, the DSLR is acting funny today, and I'm not sure why. So, and okay, so Robin says that the Boss Meadery is a really no,
Oh,
I know it's a
yeah.
really good, and Colleen's a really nice lady,
Yeah.
and she's always been cool. I just in the beginning it just wasn't good for loud bands because we saw one of our friends' bands play there, and it
Sure,
was like,
yeah.
oh, like I didn't, I was worried that
Well,
people wouldn't have a good time.
I haven't. So it was mostly acoustic
Acoustic.
stuff the night that we were there. But I understand that Lords of the Trident plays there all the time. So
Sure.
I mean,
And
if
they
it
gotta be-
can
There you
handle
go.
them,
Right.
like
Right. No, and they got to be loud as the devil,
right.
or as Motley Crue would say, louder than hell.
As what was that metal band?
Anvil?
No, not Anvil.
Manowar.
Oh my god. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Manowar,
Louder
Louder
oh,
than
Than
hell.
Louder than hell, which we might have to cover sometime.
Oh man, it's such a great album.
Okay. Well, do you guys want to talk a little more, or you want to watch? So we have a version of the video that's just us and not the Hellier stuff. And I wanted to show both for the people who had joined in late. So if you joined in after the video, the Hellier one, let's show a version that is just us. It's a different cut. Oh, Bart says, "I'll go anywhere to see Sunspot."
Aw, well, that's
Yeah.
so
Now,
sweet.
now Bart has driven from
He
Toma.
has.
Driven from Toma to see us play in like Sauk City
Yeah.
and
Blue Mound.
Yeah.
Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God, Bart, you
right.
came to Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
going to say Mount Horror, but you are more
Yeah.
accurate.
Bart, you-
Blue Mountain.
Bart, you
Spot
came.
on.
Actually, Bart
Blue
should get a
Mountains,
cheers for
Wisconsin
coming to
Dells.
Blue
Yeah,
Mountains.
he should.
That show was pants. All right, Bart.
You just need.
And he
here,
would love a Lords and Sunspot show. That's a great idea.
Actually,
That would be
That is a
fun.
great.
we
idea.
would
We
love that too.
We will be spending
Yeah,
some
Brian's a good
time with
guitarist.
Ty next
Josh.
week in California, and so we should talk with him about
That's
that.
That's a
because
fun idea.
Ty's coming
I'll
down
say.
to NAMM, and then Wendy and I will be playing at the House of Blues in Anaheim next Friday night.
That's right.
So if
Oh,
you are
yeah.
anywhere near Anaheim or are you going to NAMM, then come see us play some acoustic magic for you.
Oh, or if you know anybody in California, the greater Los Angeles,
Mhm.
Anaheim area,
Right.
please share that event with them because it's free. It's in the
It
House
is
of
free.
Blues like restaurant. So
And-
it's during dinner.
Yeah.
No cover charge. I mean,
And make sure you let them know a week in advance because that's how long it'll take them to drive from anywhere to Anaheim.
it's true.
Okay, so let's show the other video.
So watch this and think of questions while you're watching.
Yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
Whether
And
it's
we
about
will
the
take-
song or the shooting.
Okay, and then there will be a prize for the dirtiest question.
Careful what you wish for.
You know our friends, right? This is not going to go well.
Well, that's you know what though? I'm okay with it because what do I have to lose? Here we go.
I'll spend the night in the killer's bed. Gonna wanna spend some time in her head. Well, I'm here to talk to the dead, and I'll spend the night. I'll spend the night in a murder scene, hoping some rubs off on me. Well, I don't get queasy, and I'll spend the night. Is it the fear I want to face? Is it the memory of the chase? Is it the blood I want to taste? I just don't know. Is it a lust for the profane, or a dream of the insane? Well, we just can't explain, and we'll spend the night. I'll spend the night on the battlefield, where the wounds never healed. We'll see what the worms reveal when I spend the night. I'll spend the night with the gallows pole in my hand, Sharon's oboe. I'll sleep in a 6-foot hole, and I'll spend the night. Is it the fear I want to face? Is it the memory of the chase? Is it the blood I want to taste? I just don't know. Whoa, whoa. Is it a lust for the profane, or a dream of the insane? Well, we just can't explain, and we'll spend the night. Oh, we just can't explain, and we'll spend the night. No, we just can't explain, so we'll spend the night.
Okay, so coming on back here. Coming on back here. All right. Okay, so let's go back and answer some questions here, and then we'll try to get the camera going. I'm not sure why it's still giving us trouble here. We had to turn it off and on again. Andy Freevault, where did you find the costumes? Okay, Andy, that's not quite a dirty question, but we appreciate it. Number one, we have finished the bottle of champagne. So, good job, team. Ben, why don't you jump on the couch real quick until we get that working?
Yeah, sure.
It might be up now.
Okay.
Come on over, stay a while.
Yeah, here, I'll bring my beer.
I'm going to keep... So, we have an external camera that seems to be hating on me. Anyway, so we found the costumes. Wendy, where did you get yours?
It's very authentic from Amazon.com.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go now.
Hey.
We're back.
All right, let me switch it up here. All right. So Wendy went to Amazon to find her costume. I went to a place called Malot's in Madison.
Costumes, yeah.
Yeah, and I said like, what do you have? And they had like a cowboy that was super lame, and then they had one called like, we call this one the gunslinger. And I'm like, obviously I want the gunslinger.
Mike,
So-
you have to tell them about what you found in the package.
Oh my God, I forgot about this too.
Oh yeah.
So I think
You
I
might
didn't-
wonder how we shoot for so long.
right. How we could be in a freezing barn for
For
8
12
hours
hours.
at a time. It's because, so anyway, so I reach in the pocket and I'm like, hey, this feels like $1. And I pull it out and that dollar is so tightly rolled that obviously somebody used it as a straw for what the kids call cocaine. And so, obviously, this is a funny thing. So the last person that rented that costume had white
Had a
line
hell of a
fever.
night.
Right.
The
They had a great
gunslinger?
time. Yeah, the gunslinger spent the night somewhere. And it was just the funniest thing in the world because it's like we're shooting and I'm like, oh, what's this? And I'm like, sweet money. Hey guys, I found it. Oh,
Functional money.
yeah. I'm
Wait
like,
a
somebody-
minute.
You know, I'm like, this is great. So I spent that $1.
Yeah.
Would you spend it on moon pies and penny whistles?
I spent it on the champagne.
Yeah.
Hey,
this
all
season.
right.
So it was. What was your favorite? So since we're still talking about the video and we're celebrating the fact that we got a new thing out in the world, and so you guys can go to Spotify now. You can go to iTunes if you want to buy it, but you can listen to it on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever fine music is listened to. The video will be live on YouTube tomorrow for the plebes who are
And if you
here
want to
hanging out
share
with
it
us.
with your friends,
Yeah.
we would really appreciate
Yes.
that, of course. Spread the word, spread the good word.
Yes, spread the word, and you'll be free.
And feel free to comment on it and let us know if there's any spooky place that you've spent the night.
Yeah.
'Cause I'd like to know.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I like hearing stories people have from.
Oh, so
trips. On YouTube,
I think
some
we're having
people-
trouble. I mean, okay, I've got to turn up the internal mic here so people can hear us
Oh,
better.
Too far away from that.
Oh,
Yeah,
let me
use the time.
turn it up. Okay, this might be louder. So Mark Johnson says, "Love me some Old Westfield."
Hey,
John Kula says you can ask if you can find it on Napster. Yes, you bet your ass you can find it on Napster.
It's linked in MySpace.
Yeah.
Well,
And
MySpace
Friendster.
is huge in Asia. So the thing is, like, if we were MySpace stars, I would take it, because that would mean we were K-pop stars. And K-pop, I have a
Right.
great time.
BTS,
Yeah.
Okay, so now we should be a little bit louder here, and we're learning. This is our first live stream from the rehearsal space because before this was an internet dead zone. And so now
we've opened it up to the world.
right. So now we're finally not in the desert, and we can talk to you guys. Okay. All right. So if this is a little better now. Oh, so everybody missed my.
Oh, your story.
You missed the dollar found, like
Dollar bill.
the cocaine dollar bill we found in the costume. You have to save that for a live show.
Yeah.
Okay, and Ben, where did you get your costume?
I'd like to thank the Memorial High School drama department, Sebastian, picked me up.
All right.
Nice.
Sounds good. Speaking of Sebastian, I just watched The Little Mermaid for the first time this weekend.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that Under the Sea song is really good.
I'm glad you're bringing this up now.
Totally.
Wendy, you were talking about haunted places.
I was, yeah. I was just gonna say, like, you know, over our years of touring, we've visited some pretty weird places. And
Yeah.
what do you have a favorite or like a place that left an impression on you? Maybe that was like particularly weird or.
Like shows or hotels?
Um,
I mean,
Well-
we
Either.
slept a lot of weird places.
I was gonna say like venues maybe, but shows are fine too.
You know that.
Well, just because you had your head between a couple of butts does not mean that it's
Those
weird
aren't
place.
pillows.
Hey!
I always come back to that weird experience that we had in Wausau, right? Wausau, where that like giant like
Yeah.
metal piece, like the like flaming hot piece of metal like fell from apparently nowhere. Like,
Oh yeah.
it looked like a
What?
piece of a
Yeah.
satellite, but like I'm pretty sure it was a part from an air conditioner or something. But it came down and like hit my hand, and then like it burned through one of my guitar cables.
Jeez.
So
It was molten
I don't know
hot.
about ghosts or aliens, but like unexplainable.
Space Lab, Skylab.
That place is called the
Unexplainable, yes.
that place is called the Fillmore Theater.
Fillmore. That's
A local filmmaker named Ben Whitehaven has actually he did a whole movie called The Medium inside the Fillmore Theater, and he based some of the stories in the movie on experiences that people had. The sound woman at that particular bar, Stephanie,
Yeah.
wherever you are, you did a great job.
Yes.
But the sound girl Stephanie, she said that she had seen a whole boatload of stuff because the thing is, the sound board was in the balcony,
mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a little bit weird.
so she had
That
to go
was
up
weird.
to the balcony.
So
Yeah.
many steps.
Like where the sound
Back
She had to go to the
and
balcony
forth.
to do the sound and get everything, then come back downstairs to change things and stuff. So it wasn't a place that was built for live bands, more built for, I think, like theatrical stuff where the sound people don't have to, come back and change the monitor mix or whatever. And she was saying that she'd seen a bunch of weird stuff. This was a particular bar that said at 1:05 or something every night, the lights blinked, and they said that don't worry about that.
Don't
that's
worry
the
about
ghost.
that.
And they tell us that super early. They're like, don't worry about that, that's the ghost. And we all have a good laugh or whatever. And they made a specific Sunspot shot that night.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was 1 o'clock in the morning. We're taking our last break, and it had gone on for a long time because we take long breaks sometimes and luxuriate in the
We'll have
free
to talk to
booze.
people.
You guys
Right.
also do like
Yeah.
2-hour sets sometimes
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
so
like, no,
it's
yeah.
earned.
Yeah.
We'll put the work in when necessary. But also we'll take long ass breaks and have like 12 shots. And so we're up at the bar, and the bartender's like, "You want a Sunspot shot?" And I'm like, "Yes,
Yeah.
I do."
I mean, you can't really say no to that.
Right?
No.
I'm like,
that's-
if you've named the shot after our band,
It's
If
unpatriotic.
somebody
yeah.
asks you if you're God ready, you say
say,
yes.
Yeah.
"Yes, thank you." And so he said, absolutely. So we do the shot, and then the lights flicker, and I'm like, "What was in this shot?"
Yeah.
But
No,
then I
that's
look
a
up, and he's like, "Told you there was a ghost." Because I completely forgot about them earlier saying, yes, at 1:05 the lights
That was
flicker.
like 5 hours earlier. Like,
When you're setting up,
Like,
Yeah.
right. Imagine sound checking and a piece of hot coiled metal just like falls on your arm and then like melts your guitar cable. That's more than a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
so the Fillmore, and people had a million haunted experiences there. Now, all we had was the ghost obviously didn't like Ben. Probably,
Aw.
they're like, "Ben, you don't play fast enough." It was the ghost of Randy Rhoads, and Randy Rhoads was like, "Learn some classical skills." Anyway, but we used to have a good time at the Fillmore, and now it's closed down. It's probably a BW3 or something.
Yeah.
But they don't have music, but they
Sports
got
ball.
some shitty trivia. Let's check for
Okay.
some more dirty questions.
Wait, hey, before I know you asked about my favorite show memory, but like
please.
Mike's favorite show memory for
Paranormal
haunted
show,
stuff,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that like old theater that we played in at the like old junior high or whatever in Viroqua, that's like your like.
I did. Well, I told this story for Dave Schrader from Midnight in the Desert and Darkness Radio. I told this on his YouTube channel. So this is at my 33rd birthday, and the night
So
of
it
my
was last week.
Yeah.
right last week, 33. Woo, can't believe how old I am. So the 33rd birthday, I partied real hard. I was ejected from the Great Dane for ripping my shirt off, and the cab driver did not. This is before the days before Uber.
Barbarians.
The cab driver did not want to take my girlfriend and I back. But anyway, they did. Ended up sleeping in the bathtub. Blah 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 blah.
Yada yada
It was a
yada.
rough
Show the
night.
next day.
Yeah.
Show the next day, we go to Viroqua, Wisconsin, and we play a song called "A Live Day." And we're on the stage, and this is the second floor gymnasium of the old Viroqua, or maybe the current Viroqua High School.
I think it.
No,
No,
I think it was.
there's businesses in there now. I believe.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think they were
Getting down to business.
I feel like it was the old high school, the old junior high or something, a retired building. I spoke with somebody from Viroqua recently about it, and yeah, it used to be a school.
Okay, so we're in the high school, the old high school, on the second floor, playing in the old gymnasium. We play a song called A Live Day. Now, A Live Day, it's a bass solo in the beginning, as the best songs are. And then there's a vocal over the top, as the best songs are. And so I'm singing it, and there's a line that says, "That was the day that I died, the best day of my life." It's an emotional musical moment kind of thing. We're playing it. And
Where can they get the song if they're interested, Mike?
well, they can find it off our album Singularity.
There you go.
And there's a video on YouTube.
There is a video on YouTube for A Live Day from the TV show Torchwood, and that's actually not even the album version. That's a demo version we did for that specific one. But you can find that on the album Singularity, which you can listen to on Spotify, Apple Music. You can buy it on Bandcamp if you're a good person that likes bands and likes helping musicians,
With a
instead of just
conscience.
getting free music all the time and stealing from your friends. So I get that line, and I'm like, and I think I'm really rocking it, right? I'm like, I'm really delivering the goods on this one. And then I feel no. Actually, by the time we did the show, I'm
Do your best.
By the time we did the show,
I'm peeking right now.
I'm solid. I feel Ben put his arm around, and I'm like, what the hell is Ben doing on my side of the stage? He gets a guitar solo in every single song. What's he doing over here? This is the spotlight on me. And I
Like it never is.
Right. I look
For
over.
once.
I look over, and Ben is on the other side of the stage, and I'm like, so during that particular line of that song, after a particularly gnarly evening, something decided,
A particular ghost.
yes, to let me know, hey buddy, can't wait to see you. So that was an interesting thing, and then afterwards, I was talking to the woman who set up the show. It was a fundraiser. It was a nice event, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this place is totally." And this was before we were doing ghost walks or anything. It's like this place is totally haunted, and a lot of people feel things on the stage. Anything happen to you? And I'm like, holy shit, sister!
Yeah.
Dude, I got a story for you. And so I don't know if that was my favorite moment as in show, because it was chilling and a memento mori of my eventual, or maybe sooner rather than later, death. But it certainly was memorable.
Now, question.
Well, I was just going to say, since we've
On
kind of
Wednesday,
gone
then.
around, I was going to ask Scott, since Scott is somewhat of a haunted place,
A ghost nerd.
an
Yeah.
encyclopedia of haunted places.
Well, it was reminding me, like, I haven't had, I wish I've had an experience where I was giving a speech and something happened. That would be wicked. But it made me think of a place that I don't think it's not, definitely not this place anymore. I hope it's reopened as a bar, because I'd love to book you guys there. It's a place in Chicago called Tito's on the Edge, or it was called Tito's on the Edge when it was still in business. It was called On the Edge because it was right on the edge of Chinatown.
Okay.
And that place started out and went for generations as a funeral home, and now it's a bar. And the place where they used to, the place where the casket would sit is now where the band's set up.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So there's kind of like, you know, an alcove
It's
type.
dramatic symbolism.
Totally.
If you choose to
Wow.
step on the
Yeah,
stage.
exactly. The death of your career.
Right.
But so
All your hopes and dreams.
yeah, so where the casket would be, there's this kind of like dug into the wall alcove type area. And when I was writing my book, and I was talking to the owner, he mentioned that bands will feel like there's somebody else on stage with them sometimes. So I hope they're
cool.
open again, and then we can see if we can recapture
Well,
that.
That sounds good.
Speaking of your book, might as well.
Voices from the Chicago Grave. The website is what'syourghoststory.com. Back to Sunspot.
Gotta let you plug it. But also,
Thank you.
real quick, since
Yeah.
we got you on the horn,
Yeah.
and I know we probably have some dirty questions waiting for us, right?
So,
Well, there's a couple.
But I just wanted to, since this live stream is about the video for Spend the Night, and Scott, you've worked on a bunch of other band videos, so I was curious if you could compare your experience working with us as a band with maybe some of the other videos that you've worked on.
Well, that's interesting, because the music video prior to this that I'm the most proud of was called Love With Me by a band called Vintage Trouble, this awesome blues soul rock band. Kind of like if Otis Redding was still around and just killing it today. And
I mean, he killed it all the way.
He sure did,
yeah.
yeah.
Lake Monona.
There we go.
Oh, too soon?
Too soon.
50 years?
Too local.
Yeah,
But that was one where they went to UCLA and they volunteered their time for their their music engineering students. And said, well, let's record a track, and we'll have the band play, and let's have Scott come out and film it just so that we can kind of just document it. And the idea was for it to be so simple, like just a couple shots, and we cut between the two, make it feel like a 1960s era performance on a talk show or something.
Ed Sullivan.
Yeah, exactly. And then I ended up just getting so many great shots, and I had a lot of cameras there. And so I'm like, I have more than enough footage, and I haven't shot the singer yet. So what am I going to do with all of this footage? And so then that's when I came up with the idea to kind of, I wanted the whole thing to feel like a mosaic, which again kind of harkens back to that time where that was maybe a more popular design style.
Yeah.
And we had all of these shots on screen at once, and the shots themselves were moving around. And so that was, I loved that because Vintage Trouble just said, hey, if you want to do that, go for it.
Nice.
They were doing their thing, and I did my thing.
Sweet.
So I don't know, that was probably my favorite experience working with a band up until being able to work on this song.
Thanks.
Which I have to
12
say,
degrees.
yeah, exactly. We haven't talked at all. We've alluded a little bit, but we haven't talked at all about how cold that effing shoot was.
Yeah. So Chad Koopmans asked, did anybody get lucky on set? The answer to that is...
We all did because we didn't have frostbite.
Right. But the answer,
we came out alive.
Right. No, there was not a chance of an erection for a mile around. It was so cold.
Yeah, we were all stiff.
Right, I was going to say.
Sorry. We're just stepping all over the punchlines that you had
Hey!
worked on.
Hey.
No, but it was about 24 degrees that night, or starting at around 4 p.m. And it got colder as the night went on.
Yeah.
And there was some propane, and so thank you very much, Lisa.
Oh my God.
We
Yes,
used your
thank you
propane,
for
and you
saving
told me,
our
you're like,
lives.
Lisa was like, oh, you can just get some more Menards. And she's like, there'll be a couple hours. She's like, at least a couple hours left in there. I'm like, that'll be fine.
Plenty.
Wrong.
Yeah.
And so you can see our breath in the entire video. And
I was going to ask you about that because Mike did the editing for the video, and so that means you had to sit through hours and hours of footage. Was there anything weird or interesting that you saw while you were going through all that footage, or anything like from the cold that you noticed?
Well, I mean, the weirdest thing I saw was like I had a really good shot of Wendy where Ben was right in the shot, looking at his phone.
Thanks, buddy.
So I was like, boy, it is a good shot of Wendy. Up, hey Ben, how's Facebook? I mean, he didn't know, this sorry bastard. But the thing is, I didn't see anything like out of the ordinary. Like I'd say, I looked through all the footage and all 10 hours of Hellier to try to find the most interesting visuals that we could. Like with Hellier, there's no way we're going to distill the plot into a video.
Right, of course.
So I just wanted to kind of evoke the interesting visuals and maybe make people who've seen Hellier be like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
And the people who haven't, to say like,
What the hell's going on?
Like,
Yeah.
I
What the hell here?
gotta see what they're doing in Mammoth Cave. You know, that kind of thing.
You
Like-
didn't see my spirit trying to escape my body.
No.
Go to
I
a
mean,
different,
I
warmer
did-
location.
Well, the problem is that sometimes I couldn't use the shot because our testicles were up in our throats.
Oh my God.
And you're like, well, that's awkward.
But you know, the thing that actually is great about it is that we've done some investigations at supposedly haunted places, and the ones, you know, I've only done a few, but every one of them has been painfully cold.
Painfully cold.
You know, the South Pittsburgh Hospital,
Which has
was
a music
one.
video to it.
That's right.
Check that out.
And then also the Greene County Asylum one that we did.
Which has a music video to it.
Both were so painfully cold that it was like, oh no, never again will anything be this
It's
cold.
like you couldn't
But then-
possibly feel a cold spot.
I just don't
Because you
care.
can't feel
Things are-
anything.
I don't care if things are haunted in Wisconsin anymore.
I know
They're
exactly.
like, mine's haunted. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like ghosts, I hope they like it cold because that's what they're gonna get.
So anyway, but that's what it's. So in the video, we're in a haunted. The scene is supposed to be like a potentially haunted place.
Yeah.
And so I think that the cold serves.
Well,
us.
and I want to give a little behind the scenes for that. What's the opening and closing shot of you guys walking to the barn and leaving the barn? That was the last shot we got. It was the end of the day, and it was at its coldest moment, and the wind had picked up so ferociously. So I was out there with a camera on a tripod and a light, but the wind was whipping the light so hard. Oh, and also it was so cold out. I went to lock the light in place, and the lock shattered. It had absolutely frozen, and just okay.
Right.
So
The
now,
lock is like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Metal is shattering.
So I'm then shooting and holding the light in place as the wind is just trying to pull it
Right.
to the
And
ground.
it's probably like metal that you're holding on to.
And
So it's nice and warm.
I was behind the camera just thinking, walk faster to the door.
Aw.
The thing is, we could have just done it because the best part is, like, I just used slow motion anyway,
Yeah.
and so like there was no reason we shouldn't
We
have
could've
walked like
run.
normal.
And we didn't have to walk.
We could have
like,
ran
all
down the
way
goddamn
hill.
Right.
But that was a specific thing,
Yeah,
Uh,
wind chill was like 12 degrees. And
Yeah.
that sky, unbelievable.
and I wasn't
hard.
wearing underwear.
Well, so it's normal.
Right. Pretty much it. Okay, so let's see what other questions we have. It's 7 o'clock, so we have time for a couple more questions. And I know we did start late, so I want to make sure we give everybody. All right, Tim Araujo. Hello, Sunspot. Hello, Tim.
Hey.
Munderline.
John Kulas. I'm toasting the band with a glass of smoked maple. All right, then. Terry Bass, what do you think is your most double entendre song?
Oh, wow. That's a good
Oh.
question.
Trashy Hot.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
If we go back to high school, Ben and I wrote a song called No Stoppin' the Boppin'.
Oh, no stopping the
That's
bottom.
all of double entendres. It's like basically a Benny Hill skit in 3-minute hard rock song. And okay, so that's about it. We want to thank you for joining us for our first live stream from the practice space. Every week we're going to try for something different. We're going to do this again next week at 6 o'clock. And if you'd love to join us, we'd love you to join us.
Please do.
If you don't want to join us, then go to hell. But
Hellier.
Go to hell here.
hey,
Oh,
but you guys
no,
should
no,
watch
Don't go there.
Yeah.
hellier.tv.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
link will be in the YouTube video. We're going to share all that stuff tomorrow. We want to thank you so much,
Yes.
everybody who watched the videos, hung out at 6 o'clock. You should be making dinner or whatever, but instead you're hanging out with us. And that is the best place to be.
And if there are any Hellier fans and Planet Weird Greg and Dana
Yes,
fans,
yes.
they've also got another song about Greg and Dana.
Oh,
called
yeah.
Apology Tour.
Gosh. Greg and Dana, yeah, we've got. Well, they've been on our.
They've
our
been on the
show
podcast
twice.
at least, yeah. Well, about that. And then they were on about Buffy the Vampire
Oh,
Slayer.
that's right. So 3 times.
Yeah, so they've been on a bunch of
They're
times.
regulars.
And
Mhm.
so, but we're looking forward to see, the more stuff they're doing. And I'm sure we'll all be hanging out at a paranormal convention very soon.
Yes.
So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. We hope you enjoy the video. We're going to put a Facebook version up, official Facebook version up tomorrow, as well as YouTube and stuff. And if you enjoyed it, please share it with your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, please never talk about this again. So everybody have an awesome Tuesday. And from the north side, we say bye.
How do you turn that thing off?
I don't even know. Like, it's a new thing. I don't know how to turn it off.
And strong.